The snow fell heavy on Christmas Eve as Julian Kane pulled his Mercedes to the curb outside St. Mary's shelter. At 39, he was CEO of Kane Industries, a manufacturing empire his grandfather had started, and he'd expanded globally. He wore a coat that cost more than most people's monthly rent, and had just left a holiday party where champagne flowed and nobody actually cared. His daughter Maya, 4 years old, sat in the back seat clutching her favorite stuffed rabbit. His wife had died 2 years ago in a car accident, leaving him alone to raise their daughter while running a company. He'd hired nannies, assistants, people to manage every aspect of their lives. But tonight, the latest, Nanny had quit after he'd missed dinner for the 3rd time that week. "Daddy, why are we at the shelter?" Maya asked, as Julian unbuckled her. "Because we're dropping off the toys you picked out, remember? For children who don't have as much as you do." It had been his therapist's suggestion. Do something for others. Get outside yourself. Remember what matters. So he'd let Maya fill a cart with toys and was now delivering them personally because his assistant was already on vacation. Inside, the shelter was warm but crowded. Families huddled together, volunteers serving dinner, children running between tables with the resilient energy kids somehow maintain even in hard circumstances. Julian carried the box of toys to the front desk, where a tired-looking woman greeted him. "Mr. Kane, thank you so much for the donation. The children will be thrilled." "It's nothing," Julian said, though he knew the toys represented more money than most of these families saw in months. Maya tugged his hand. "Daddy, can I help give out the toys?" Before Julian could answer, a boy appeared at his elbow, maybe 7 years old, wearing a red jacket that was too thin for the weather, a worn backpack over his shoulders. He had brown hair that needed cutting and serious dark eyes that studied Julian with unsettling intensity. "Excuse me, sir," the boy said politely. "Are you rich?" Julian blinked. "That's not a polite question, I know. But I need to know because I need to ask you something important. And it only works if you're rich." Despite himself, Julian was curious. "What do you need to ask?" The boy took a deep breath, gathering courage. "My sister can't walk. She has something wrong with her legs," the doctor said, "but we can't afford to fix it. And we're staying here at the shelter. But they say we can only stay until New Year's because they need the beds. And our mom is gone. She died last month. And I don't know what to do. So I'm asking, sir, can we stay with you?" The shelter went quiet. Julian felt every eye turn toward them. He looked down at this boy who just asked for everything, with the desperate honesty of someone who had nothing left to lose. "Where's your sister now?" Julian asked. The boy turned and pointed to a small girl sitting in a wheelchair near the Christmas tree. She was maybe 3 years old, blonde hair in messy pigtails, wearing a pink jacket and holding a worn doll. When she saw her brother pointing, she waved. "That's Lily. She's 3. She can't walk because her legs don't work right. The doctor said maybe surgery could help, but it costs too much money. I take care of her mostly. I'm really good at it. I can feed her and get her dressed and push her chair. I just need somewhere safe for us to stay." "What's your name?" Julian asked quiet. Noah Sullivan. "And I know you don't know us. I know this is crazy, but I've asked everyone I can think of and nobody can help. And the shelter says we have to leave. And I don't know what else to do. So when I saw you come in with those expensive toys and that nice coat, I thought maybe you were rich enough to help. Please, sir, I'll work for you. I'll do anything. Just please don't let them split us up." Julian felt something crack open in his chest. This boy, 7 years old, trying to hold his family together through sheer willpower and desperate requests to strangers. "They want to split you up?" "Social services. They say maybe they can find a family for Lily because she's little and cute, but probably not for both of us together, especially not when she needs so much medical care. They say I'd probably go to a group home, but I can't let them take her. She's my sister. I'm all she has left." Maya had been listening with wide eyes. She walked over to the little girl in the wheelchair and, with the fearless kindness of children, said, "Hi, I'm Maya. Do you want to play with my rabbit?" Lily took the offered toy with a shy smile. Julian looked at Noah, at the desperate hope in his eyes, mixed with the certain knowledge that this was a long shot at best. He thought about his empty house with its 8 bedrooms, his unused guest wing, his garage full of cars he never drove, his life full of everything except what mattered. "Sir, my sister can't walk. Can we stay with you?" Noah asked again, his voice breaking slightly. "I promise we won't be any trouble. I promise I'll take care of her. Just please." Julian made a decision that every logical part of his brain screamed was insane. "Yes." Noah stared at him. "Yes. Yes. You can stay with me. Both of you. And we're going to figure out how to help your sister." The boy's face crumpled. Tears streamed down his cheeks as he tried to maintain the composure he'd clearly been forcing for weeks. "Really? You mean it? We can really stay? Really? Let me talk to the shelter director and social services. We'll figure out the paperwork. But yes, you can stay." Noah turned and ran to his sister, dropping to his knees beside her wheelchair. "Lily, we're going to be okay. This man is going to help us. We're going to have a house, and you're going to get your legs fixed, and we're going to be okay." The shelter director pulled Julian aside. "Mr. Kane, this is incredibly generous, but you understand what you're taking on. The boy's mother died of cancer last month. No other family. The sister needs extensive medical care, and possibly multiple surgeries. The foster system is overwhelmed. But this is a significant commitment. I understand. I'll hire the best doctors. Whatever she needs. And the boy stays with his sister. That's non-negotiable." That night, Julian brought Noah and Lily home to his sprawling house. Noah carried Lily up the front steps, refusing help, clearly used to managing on his own. When he saw the house, his eyes widened. "This is where you live? Just you and Maya? Just us? But there's plenty of room for you too." Julian set them up in the guest wing, 2 connected bedrooms with their own bathroom. Noah put Lily to bed with practiced efficiency, tucking her in, checking that her doll was within reach, making sure she had water nearby. "You're really good at taking care of her," Julian said from the doorway. "I had to be. When Mom got sick, I had to learn. Lily can't do a lot of things by herself, so I help her." That's what big brothers do. For the next few months, Julian's life transformed. He hired specialists who evaluated Lily and determined she needed surgery to correct a congenital spinal condition. He paid for it without hesitation. He watched Noah stay by his sister's side through every doctor's visit, every therapy session, every painful moment of recovery. He also watched Noah start to be a kid again, to play with Maya, to laugh, to stop carrying the weight of the world on 7-year-old shoulders. And Julian found himself changing too. He left work at reasonable hours to have dinner with the kids. He attended Noah's school performances and Lily's physical therapy sessions. He read bedtime stories and built blanket forts, and remembered what it felt like to be part of a family. 6 months after that snowy Christmas Eve, Lily took her first steps with the help of a walker. Noah cried as he watched his sister stand on legs that finally worked, that finally responded to her determination. A year later, Julian stood in court as a judge finalized the adoption of Noah and Lily Sullivan. They became Noah and Lily Kane, officially and permanently part of his family. At the celebration dinner that night, Noah stood up to make a speech that made everyone cry. "A year ago, I asked a stranger for everything. I asked him to take us in, to help my sister, to save us when we had nothing. I thought he'd say no. Everyone else did. But he said yes. He didn't just give us a house. He gave us a family. He taught me that asking for help isn't weakness, it's courage. And he showed me that sometimes the people with the most are just waiting for someone to show them what their wealth is really for." Julian pulled Noah into a hug. This brave boy who'd had the courage to ask for everything when he had nothing, who'd reminded a wealthy CEO that success means nothing if you don't use it to change lives. Sometimes salvation comes from the most unlikely requests. Sometimes it takes a 7-year-old's desperate plea to remind us that wealth without purpose is just numbers. And sometimes asking for everything is exactly what's needed to give everyone involved what they've been missing all along. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment about a time when asking for help changed everything.